movie fans? Welcome to Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grind the Podcast. I am your host, Ian. This is the show in which we grind on the absolute worst horror and sci-fi movies we can find and make fun of just how bad they are, as well as praise the good, cool classics that have been lost throughout time. Now get ready, because we're about to dive real deep inside of Hollywood's dumpster in search of the good, the so bad it's good, and the fucking ugly. Now put on your seatbelt, grab a beer or two, and enjoy the show. Friday the 13th, part 5, a new beginning. Folks, welcome to Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grind Podcast. I'm Ian. And so we're going to do a... I don't know. It's a bit controversial film, this one. This is Friday the 13th, part 5, as I said, which a lot of people hate. This is probably one of the most hated movies in the entire Friday the 13th franchise. However, I personally, I like it. I think it's very underrated. And I'll tell you why. It's got the most kills, which you want in a Jason movie. You want the kills. This has the most of them. What else do you want in a Friday the 13th movie? Nudity. This has the most nudity. And not only that, but it has the best nudity. Because this movie was directed by a man by the name of Danny Steinman. He was a porn director. So if you want a good Friday the 13th movie, why not have your director be a famous porn director? So yeah, there you have it. Now I get it. Why everybody hates this movie is the stupid ass Scooby-Doo ending at the end of the movie. Yeah, I get it. It's stupid. I agree with you. It fucking sucks. But it's but at the same time, it's goofy. It definitely has a so bad it's good horror element to it, which I enjoy. Is it my favorite one? No. But it's also not my least favorite either. It's definitely no Jason Goes to Hell. But it's we all know that Jason 4, the final chapter, is the best one, or maybe the second Friday the 13th. But don't take my word for it. I've got other people here. Nat is here. What's up, Nat?
Hey,
And
folks.
also Sam is here. What's up?
Hello.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
I'm good.
Doing well. Yeah.
Cool. So y'all are coming back for the second time. Y'all were here a few episodes ago. We did the roundtable discussion of bad films, and we had a really good discussion. But I thought I'd bring y'all back because I mean you enjoy the so bad it's good kind of genre, so I'll bring you back. So for those who didn't watch that episode, so you both you host a bad movie night at New Parkway, which is a movie theater, I guess. For those like I said, those who didn't watch that, why don't you tell us what you do in your background and everything?
Yeah, sure. There's a really, really great independent movie theater here in Oakland, California, that gave us the opportunity to curate a So Bad It's Good movie night. So it's a monthly movie night that folks can come and join us and watch awful movies that also bring us a lot of joy. And there's a lot of interactive elements to the night as well, including trivia, including drinking games, including actually a preview night. So for folks who want to watch a bad movie twice on their own volition, they can join us and actually preview the movie before we show it at the New Parkway. And that's actually where we write up all the trivia points and all the drinking rules and stuff like that. So it's super interactive.
Yeah. You said there's drinking rules, so
yep.
So basically, can you give an example for like a specific movie? Or actually, you know what? If you could do this movie, first of all, let me ask you. First of all, would you consider Friday the 13th, not just any Friday the 13th, but this one specifically, Part 5, would this count as a movie that you would play?
Oh, I definitely think I definitely think this would be a contender, especially as we get closer to like the October months. So showing it in a fall as a fall film would be perfect. Yeah, I think a lot of people would show up for this.
Oh yeah, and so with your drinking rules, what would your drinking rules be with this movie?
Well, I mean, you already called one of the things that is a great statistic for this film because it's such a good example of slasher, just like slasher comedy essentially. And so 21 kills makes for 21 really good drinks. So I think that's definitely one of the drinking rules. Yeah, I think it's 21 kills in this film if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I think it's the most out of any one of them. So, like, I gotta call out everybody who hates on this movie because this has the most. Okay, cool. I mean, that sounds pretty dangerous.
Yeah, and I'm sure Sam probably has a bunch of good drinking rules for this game already, or for this movie, excuse me, already thought up.
I feel like just like there were so many boobs that you can't not acknowledge that as well. Like,
yeah, because the director, like I said, he's a porn director. He was not fucking around. He was like, I know exactly what this movie needs. But I mean that the others had too. But so I guess you see boobs and you drink.
Yeah, I mean that probably wouldn't be an official one, but I would do it anyway. Just like scream it out and be like boobs and drink.
Would it be technicality here? Would it be per boob or per pair?
I feel like per boob is more dangerous, so let's go with that.
Okay.
Okay, so you're always trying to like start fights and get in trouble. I see. Well, cool. So let me ask you now: what is each of your personal opinion of, first of all, the Friday the 13th franchise, but also this one specifically? Like, would you say that this is one of the least good one or one of the most hated ones? Like, I mean, this is one of the most hated Friday the 13th movies. But do you think it's underrated and it doesn't deserve that, or is it just a total just bullshit?
I'm definitely going to let Sam jump in first because Sam has extensive knowledge of the Friday the 13th franchise. So I can't wait to hear about this.
I've never watched any of the Friday the 13th movies in any sort of order. It's always like, just whenever they come to you in your life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I just thought it was funny of how you said, oh, she has extensive knowledge, and you said, I've never seen Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I've seen. Okay, my main memory is definitely playing the first one for my step siblings when they were 10 and 11 while we were camping, like at a cabin in the woods. I was like, you children need to see this.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool.
And my older brother then making them go play hide and seek at night with him and his friend, who was coincidentally named Jason.
Oh no.
So just like it's a fun family memory. And of course, I don't remember. I think I remember when they started calling them just Jason. Like when he's in space, I saw that.
Yeah, that's the 10th one.
Yeah,
that's a way past.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, like Jason exists in the first movie, but he's not the killer. But he is. The movie is about him. So yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen the first one. I've seen the 10th one, and now I've seen the 5th. And I've seen Freddy Krueger.
Okay. Yeah, you're missing out. See, like this one, so you were probably confused about who Tommy was and his whole deal.
I mean, I knew he was Corey Feldman.
Okay, yeah. He was Corey Feldman.
The last film explains how Tommy wound up in the predicament he was at the beginning of the 5th film.
Yeah, he killed Jason. He's the one person that ever killed Jason, and that's pretty cool. He was a kid, and so basically he's it messed up. He's scarred for life, and he goes into a mental institute, and then the kills happen, and you think it's Jason, and then it turns out it's not, and then that's what pissed off the fans. It wasn't Jason, but it's a copycat. But anyway, before we go onto that, we actually have another guest. I've been having him saying now here. Thank you all for joining. I also have another returning guest back to our episode Skin Deep. We had Beezle Bubba join, and I reached out to him because he's my favorite guest we've ever had, and he's back. He agreed to do the show, and here he is. Beezle Bubba, welcome back.
How you doing? Hello from your greatest underworld lord. Emphasis on hell. But we've been talking about Jason Voorhees, and I actually know that guy quite personally.
Oh, really?
Jason is such an awkward wallflower, and he definitely is a man of few words. And boy, can I tell you that he cannot take a yo mama joke. Whew. But it's hard to invite him to all these underworld parties because he's always killing the mood. Because that's the only thing he's ever good at. He's killing everything. I can't even give him a houseplant.
Oh man! If Jason was here, what would you say to him right now,
bro? I respect you for helping me with my soul reaving, but man, you got to get a girlfriend.
Well, what if I told you he actually was here? Everybody, welcome to the show. Jason Voorhees is here. You there, Jason?
Nice.
Yep, everybody is Jason. Well, hey, welcome to the show. I'm a big fan. Okay. Yeah, like you said, he's a man of few words. But
your mama's so dead that she's only a head.
Oh shit! Damn, that's rude, Bubba. Why would you say that?
I'm a lord of conflict.
Okay. Well, did you have anything else to add to this, Beezle Bubba?
Well, beyond everything, ever since the Golden Girls became the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, life has been pretty peachy. Yeah, Betty White's always prancing around on the pale horse, and she spruced up both heaven and hell. She keeps the Balrog in check. But she's a darling lady, and I digress at this point. But as you saw me last time, I was physician Beelzebub. I'm no longer a physician.
Yeah, what happened?
So I always like to change my hobbies. So now I've taken up ballet, and tonight I'll be dancing in the pale moonlight with someone special.
Okay. Well, hey man, I appreciate you joining. But I'd say that your appearance on our Skin Deep episode was phenomenal, and I'm glad you're back.
It's good to be here.
Hell yeah. Well, anyway, let's not waste any time. Go into the movie and let's play the trailer, which I have right here. And yeah, there's good old Corey Feldman.
If the memory of Jason still haunts you, you're not alone. Friday the 13th.
This is classic. Like, I love how this movie just starts out and they waste no time and just fuck the bullshit, go straight to the kills.
Brutal self-defense, murder of a psychopathic killer. Boy, they've given him every therapy they can think of. It's wonder his mind isn't fried with all the drugs they've given him.
The mindless, murderous fury that was buried with Jason has been reborn.
Pete!
And suddenly, terror has become child's play. 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
New Beginning, you could have called it an alternate ending.
Isabella, I forgot to ask you, what are your thoughts on this one?
Wait, repeat the question.
What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, coming from somebody who had a new beginning, Paradise Lost and all that jazz, I respect the man for trying to pull a fast one just like Freddy Krueger did in episode 2 of his own series. Haunting the memory of Corey Feldman. If only we could all be so lucky.
Yeah, and that's what I love. It's just like in the first 2 minutes, it's just Corey Feldman just like watching Jason show up, and he's just like, "Oh no!" And I don't know if y'all knew this. So like Corey Feldman was in the previous film, and he killed Jason, and so they wanted to bring him back, but he was too busy. He had to film The Goonies. And so they just filmed like the first 2 minutes in his backyard, actually. But yeah, I guess we'll just go right into it. Nat, why don't you tell us the okay? So if you want to play this movie for those who are you're gonna be in. You're gonna play the movie for your theater. How would you sell this?
Oh gosh, I would definitely highlight that this is like peak like 80s slasher comedy, and so if folks feel like they missed out on that as as a film genre or like a niche of film, or if people really like that, I would lean heavily into the fact that this is like peak that. This is what you should see. To just know what those kinds of films are like. I also think some of my favorite aspects of this film are maybe some of the things that other people didn't appreciate as much. So, like, I love the frenzied, fanatic neighbors who are next to everybody. And, like, those kinds of side characters just killed me. I just love
Yeah, definitely. They're like
yeah.
cartoon characters almost. Or like Three
Yeah.
Stooges extras.
Exactly. And so I think those are the aspects I would probably highlight. In addition to likely trying to find a way to get some really cheap mass manufactured Jason masks. So I think that would be just a handout for folks to come to the yeah.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely not, but it can't be as good as this guy's though. Like,
oh no, I mean no one in my theater is going to be Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
It's just going to be some rando in a Jason mask with a COVID mask on top. Can't beat this.
Which, I think he likes it, is what he's saying. Jason, like, okay, so this is the one movie without you in it, which is what a lot of people hate. How do you feel about it? Oh,
it's because we were partying together, we like to jam the same song. His favorite song is Maggot Brain by George Clinton.
I like that song.
Melts your face off.
Yeah. Sam, what would you agree with that? Is there anything you'd like to bring up to sell this movie to folks who aren't sure if they want to watch this movie? How would you sell it to them? How would you say like this is the movie you need to see?
I would definitely use the tagline Jason like you've never seen him before. Because he's not there at all, which I think is a great twist. Which I wasn't, when I turned it on, I wasn't expecting, but like 10 minutes in, you are kind of expecting it. How would I sell it? I mean, if you're a fan of slasher movies, obviously this one is great. It's got everything you want. 21 kills, non-main monster kills, which are always exciting when what's-his-face gets killed for the trying to help to do chores, which is an important issue for all of us. Don't offer to help ever, and never share your candy.
Yeah. I've got that part actually right here, I think. Right here. He's just
Hi,
up
girls.
to trouble.
Hi, Joey.
Hi, Violet.
Huh?
Hi. What are you doing?
Doing laundry, Joey.
Can I help? I'm really very good at doing laundry. Matt never assigns it to me. I don't know why.
Look, Joey, we really have to get this thing finished, okay?
So I'm here to help you. You can count on me, Rob. You too, Vi. Want a chocolate bar? Here, you want it? I'll give you half, but I need half for later.
Piss off.
Oh, please let me help you. It's really no problem.
Joey! Will you just get out of here? But
I'm sorry, you two. Really, I can do laundry great, but, well, if that's how you feel, forget it. I'll just go help somebody else instead.
He's got a heart of
I'll see you
gold,
later.
but he's just so goddamn annoying.
Listen, if you change your mind, I'll be right around, okay?
Joey!
If y'all mute your mics, you can talk during this, by the way. Yeah, he's just so fucking irritating.
I probably would have just let him do the laundry.
Come on, don't be
But
like
he
that.
ruined it
Happy
with his
with
chocolate
your
fingers.
And anyway, I got 2 chocolate bars, see? Don't tell the girls. You know, Vic? Before I came here, I never had anything to do with me being an orphan and all. People always tease me about sitting around like some kind of pig or something. But here it's different. I can help others and do a lot of things. You know something? I really love it here.
I hate it.
You know, to be perfectly honest with you, I never really chopped wood before, but certainly looks like fun.
Leave me alone!
Here, Vic, want a bite? Here. I'll just put it over here. And later on, when you're hungry, you can have it. Well, if that's the way you feel, forget it, Vic. Just forget it. But I think
Forget
you're
it.
really out of line.
He absolutely, whoops. He absolutely deserved that. I think that, yeah, all the chocolate fingers and everything, like, yeah, he's irritating as shit. Like, screw him.
I think it was just preventative. Like, he was either going to get candy on his white pants, which was a bold choice, or it was going to be blood. And,
Yeah.
you know, I know which one I prefer.
So, if y'all were listening, you would probably hear how he said he's an orphan, and so that's the whole thing. So, turns out that the paramedic who comes to get him, we find out later he's his dad. So, would y'all chalk that up to an inconsistency, or I have a theory possibly. I'd say that he's so annoying that Roy, his father, is just like, he just had to get rid of him. He was too irritating. He's just like, I love my son, God bless him, but I can't take it.
He
So
put him into protective custody. It's when you can't take care of something that you love, you got to make sure that they're treated right.
Right. Yeah, I see
Somebody who's
Jason.
passed out by their father.
Jason agrees. Jason, what do you have to say about it? Okay.
I agree with this message.
So let's bring it up. So what makes this movie good and what makes it bad? Like this, like I said several times before, this is one of the most hated films of the franchise. Beelzebub, why don't you take that? Why do you think that is?
So, one of my favorite aspects of this movie is the fact that the symphony kind of sounds a little bit like Peter and the Wolf, especially when the kids are out romping and playing and screwing around in the neighbors' yards. But, sorry, that's my main go-to. Reiterate the question one more time.
Why do you think people hate this movie so much?
Because they're idiots.
Hell yeah, that's what I agree with. Right there.
Simple.
We'll bring it to you. What do you think that the stupid Scooby-Doo ending at the end? So basically, I'll bring it back to you. So basically, it's they kill him at the end. Like pretty much that they make it look like Tommy is the killer.
Mm-hmm.
He killed Jason beforehand, so now Jason's back. At the same time, he shows up, and it's like it looks like Tommy's the killer, and then you find out, oh, it's old man Roy. Well, do you think? Obviously, that's stupid, but do you think that deserves the hate that this movie gets?
I can see, especially for folks who follow franchises like this, I can see a lot of folks being disappointed when kind of this horror icon that they're used to seeing or used to engaging changes. It kind of reminds me if if you take like another famous like horror slasher kind of franchise, like if you take like Saw, for example, and if you take Jigsaw out of the picture, what happens to the movie? How do people feel about this? And so, I think that what we saw with this, why folks sort of had the response they did, is because Jason obviously isn't there. And for a lot of times when you make franchise decisions like this, your audience is either going to sink or swim with you with those decisions. So I think in some ways they were sabotaged by having it be kind of this Scooby-Doo, like unmask the ambulance driver at the end. I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot, and not in a good slasher way. With the fans, the like diehard fans. Yeah. So I think that's where a lot of the hate comes from, I think.
Yeah, it's like pretty much the fourth one. It's called The Final Chapter. They tried to end it there, but it made so much money that they wanted to reboot it, kind of in a way. And so, but they're like, what if we give it this cool, fancy twist? And it's basically they tried to fix something that wasn't broken, because the fourth one made so much money because it's awesome. It's Jason, and he's an unstoppable murder machine. Isn't that right, Jason? Yeah, see, like he knows what I'm talking about. And so it's like, like I said, they tried to fix something that wasn't broken, and it didn't really work out that way. Let me ask you, what if it wasn't Jason? Like, say this wasn't a Friday the 13th movie. Say it's like the same exact movie, but Jason wasn't in it. So I'm sorry. He left. He didn't like that.
Jason is not in it.
Well, what if he wasn't in it? What if it was just a standalone movie? Which I feel like that's what this movie was. It's like it's just a killer's on the loose in a mental camp, I guess.
Literally part one.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Sam, but do you think that would be better if it wasn't a Friday the 13th movie?
I think they should just keep doing this same twist where it's not Jason.
Like every movie?
The first one, like every movie, you're like, is it Jason? And then it's like, no, it's this guy from the back. Didn't you get it?
I kind of dig that a little bit. I completely disagree with you, but I kind of dig that.
It's all about the heart.
Yeah.
If you have the heart, you are Jason.
Maybe the real Jason was the friends we killed along the way.
Yes.
That was pretty good. Yeah, okay, so does anybody here actually agree that this is one of the worst movies? I think your cat does that. Or Jason does. Okay,
Oh,
Jason.
sorry.
Why? Why do you say so?
For the people in the back.
Oh, okay. So because he's not in it. Yeah. Okay. I see that. Cool. Good point. Well, let's talk about what makes this movie good, because like I said, I feel like this movie is very underrated. I feel like this is a movie that is actually. Well, I mean, I already made my point. It's got the most kills, it has the most nudity, it has the best nudity. But also, now, was it you who mentioned the like comical side characters?
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yeah.
think what do you think that makes it better than the other Friday the 13th movies?
I think it adds some levity to the entire thing, which to me kind of foreshadowed that Jason wasn't going to be in it ultimately anyway. It's kind of a parody of itself. And I think it's interesting that you bring up that it feels like it was a movie that wasn't a Friday the 13th movie, and then they just kind of slapped the Corey Feldman footage at the beginning to say,
Yeah, right.
Because I actually think that's how they recruited folks to be in the film. I think they told the actors that it was a different film altogether and it had a different title and it was not a Friday the 13th film, and that's actually how they got folks to sign on initially. So I think that's really interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, but yeah, I love the side characters. I think that's hilarious. I also thought it was kind of interesting that they set up Tommy to be this big bad killer, especially right at the beginning. He scares the kid with the masks. So, and
Right.
you're like, oh, okay,
Reggie the Reckless.
It's like he's fixated on the masks and stuff. And if I remember correctly, too, the original footage for the film for his like dream sequence at the beginning, I believe they had reshot it where he, after killing Jason, was sent to a hospital, and then he actually has like a manic episode in the hospital and stabs a bunch of staff persons there. So I think there really was, but obviously that's not the footage they wound up using. But there really was this setup for folks to think it's Tommy. And that Tommy's going to sort of step into the shoes of Jason. So I actually kind of appreciate that there's kind of this like goofy levity about this film, and that they didn't quite go that path. It's more like silly, funny, not taking itself that seriously. Maybe a mistake after the success of the fourth film. But I personally appreciated a lot of those aspects of the movie.
Okay, cool. Sam, do you have anything to add to that?
I enjoyed that someone died pop locking, as anyone who is pop locking should perhaps be killed.
That was way before then too.
It was so awkward to watch. Her like little dance routine that she was just doing in her room.
You're talking about this. Yeah, just fucking die already.
Is this a genre of 80s person that I don't know?
I remember watching this scene and really thinking she was already dead inside, so he might as well do it.
Well, like, so this is a mental hospital, I guess, in the woods, and her only like crime for mental insanity is that she's seen.
She was a MySpace scene kid before the scene even existed.
Yeah.
Which is punishable by death.
Exactly, as we're about to find out. And also, I like how Jason's Roy is trolling her. Like, he's there, but then he just hides. He wants her to finish the show. And yeah, so there's that.
I give it an A for effort.
Jason seems to like it. Jason, how about those kills? How would you rate a kill like that? Would you think that he did it as well as you, or he doesn't?
Regular Caesar over here.
I like how elemental he is right now. Like, this kind of answers the age-old question, because like everybody thought, like, how could he be in one place at once? And he just kind of appears, and we can see that right now. Are you okay? Are you doing okay? Okay, he's fine. Beezle Bubba, what about this do you think is better than what? Do you think that this is a better movie or than the other Friday the 13th movies, or like what are your thoughts?
This movie was really amazing with the debauchery that occurs. People wonder how me and Jason Voorhees can be friends, because he's out killing all these teens that are having sex and doing drugs, and I'm all about that kind of shit. But, this movie could have been a lot better, but to make it an R-rating movie, they had to remove 9 sex scenes.
9?
9. What kind of world are we living in? That's why I'm in an underworld. But
yeah, that I did hear about that, and that I don't know. I was actually gonna say the killing scenes. If you go to the other Friday the 13th movies, he has like an agenda. He kills people because they're having sex or doing drugs, like you mentioned. In this movie, he just kills people for no reason. Like, like she wasn't bothering anybody, or like this.
What are you doing, douchebag? Enough already, you can stop. Would you cut it out? Pete! All right, either you got the car started or you're a dead man. A rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-tootie. A rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-tootie. A rat-a-tat-tat.
Okay, I take it back. He definitely deserves to die by the song he's singing.
Same stunt, man.
You don't like his scatting?
I'm gonna kick your ass.
I enjoy scatting, but I don't even consider that scatting. He's just...
Come on, motherfucker. Fix the fucking
Maybe if they had the girl dancing to this song, it would make perfect sense to us.
What you doing up there?
I wish I could play both at the same time. That'd be great. What? Like, this movie came out 36 years ago, and now we're just thinking about how she could be dancing to that.
The Rat-a-tat-a-tooey song?
Yeah.
Hit from 1986, 85?
Yeah. Like, rat-a-tat-tooey, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tooty. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he would have killed him for that, or either of them for that. So that's where this movie fails. Yeah, so I guess I don't know. I guess we kind of pretty much covered everything. I'm trying to think. Anybody else have any scenes that come up that are noteworthy that you enjoyed or disliked even about this?
They didn't show enough of the grandfather.
Yeah.
He was the best character.
The grandfather of...
So
Reggie the Reckless. I loved Reggie the Reckless. I thought, like... So, the next movie, if you watch part 6, you'll see... is again the return of Tommy Jarvis, who is yet another actor playing his character, who's also completely different from the previous one. But Yeah, they should have brought back Reggie the Reckless. I loved him. He was like, hey man, are you afraid of spiders? Are you afraid of rubber spiders? Are you afraid of rubber spiders on streets? Man, you's a wimp. Like, I love that guy. Like, he just talks shit the whole movie, and I think that if anybody deserves like another movie, it should be him. Like,
So the fact that the masks were made by Tommy's character and only shown once and then completely forgotten about, it should have been a duel of the masks in the end of the movie, in my opinion.
yeah, that's true.
Who's who?
That goes back to the first movie, or not first movie, but the previous movie, part 4, because it shows him he creates masks, and so that's how they brought that. But I mean, I don't think that any of them is as good as this mug right here. Look at that. Yeah, he agrees. All right. Yes. So back to the other characters. I think it's kind of funny of how like comical they are. It's like you kind of expecting at the end when we find out it's Roy, like the sheriff would show up. It's like, Roy, is that you? It's like, did you kill all these people? It's like, oh no, Sheriff, I didn't mean to. I was like, oh, Roy, you're in trouble now. Yeah. But yeah. So what did y'all think about the ending where we find out it's actually not Jason? Sam, you brought up earlier that you kind of figured it out early. Like, what were your thoughts on that?
I mean, I didn't figure out that it was Roy, but I mean, it was obviously not Jason because he wasn't killing teens having sex.
Well, technically, he did kill teens having sex.
I mean, but it felt like a lot of the people he was killing were just regular adults.
Yeah.
And it felt out of character for him to be targeting the mentally ill. So it was just
there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was also not paying very close attention, so.
I mean, there's not much attention you could pay attention to Friday the 13th movies. No offense, Jason, but yeah.
I think I assumed it was going to be child Corey Feldman who did it. Like, it didn't even need to make sense to me. Like, yes.
He's not even Tommy Jarvis all alone.
Exactly. That was what I wanted, I think. That would be the ideal ending. So,
have you seen part 6?
I did. It auto-played after.
Oh, okay. So you watched that. So, now are you happy with that there's 3 movies with the Tommy Jarvis story, or do you think that it should have been Reggie the Reckless?
Reggie the Reckless 100%.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, if you go to, there's a video game that just came out for Friday the 13th, and you could play Tommy, and it's just funny of how like they try to like insert his story within 3 movies, but like really nobody cares, and then it's over, and then they make more movies without him. Yeah. Beazle, Bob, do you have anything to add to that?
I wanted to put it out there that you could definitely tell he wasn't the real Jason Voorhees, because when he got cut, he actually bled. My man, he is immortal. He is a wonderful demigod of a slasher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Jason here seems to be agreeing.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yeah. Do you have any other notes for this movie? Like what?
Oh yes.
Good or bad? Or
so Deborah Voorhees, who was one of the ladies who exposed her breastises, she ended up becoming a teacher later on in her career, and ended up unfortunately getting kicked out of the school and not being able to be with the graduating classes. But she never regretted it. But people would always ask her, when they saw her name in the credits, that she had Voorhees as her name. So she would tell people that Jason was her husband and that it was murder trying to get the blood out of the sheets.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
Jason denies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's already been fired, so we can't get her in any more trouble. But yeah,
No, she doesn't regret it. She wants
shouldn't.
to empower young women to do whatever they want with their own bodies. It's their choice.
Right. And then I guess there's another scene which I don't have or do I have no, I don't have the clip. The Reggie's brother and the damn enchiladas. I think that's like kind of a stand-up thing. Nat, you're not in here, so why don't you tell us what this thing's all about?
That whole scene, all the way from Reggie claiming the like institutional lead, which also the 2 adults in charge of this institution are so negligent and just like,
well, yeah,
they were 2 of my favorite characters because it was just awful. Like their lines of questioning were awful. Their rationales were terrible. Like I was like, oh, folks are gonna die. Folks are gonna die on this one. And they're still
it
gonna
doesn't
get
even have to be a
government
Jason movie, and folks are gonna die.
Yeah, and so I loved just there was a lot of things about that whole scene that I just could not believe all of those things were happening in a single moment, all the way up to the Jerry curls. Oh my gosh, I hadn't seen those in ages, and then I was like, oh wow, here we are, it's right here.
Well, keep in mind this is 1985.
Yeah, and then the singing through the porta potty wall to the like serenading, I couldn't. It was outrageous, and so. That again, those are some of the side characters that really made the movie for me. So I was really, really happy with that scene.
Yeah, it's just like so. Yeah, the walls are rocking. It's like stop doing that, and it's almost like he had like PTSD. Like he's been in the porta potty that's been knocked over before. You could tell because he had like he started really freaking out. And then she calmed him down by, ooh, baby, ooh. And he's like, okay. And it starts rocking again and then he dies.
Not until after she threatened that he's going to have a snake come up and bite him in the bunghole.
Yeah, that didn't seem to bother him as much. So maybe both has happened and one wasn't as bad as the other, perhaps? I don't know. But, okay, so I'm going to now come up. God damn it, Beast of Bubba. You're fired. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm kidding, but don't let that happen again. Anyway, I have a theory. So who here has seen part 9, Jason Goes to Hell? Okay. I know you've seen it, Jason. You've been in it.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a really long time.
So here's how that movie goes. Jason's barely in it. This is also a most hated movie. Jason, you know what I'm talking about. You're barely in it, right? Yeah, he's in the beginning, and so it turns out that the doctor at the morgue, he like takes out his heart, his black heart, and he eats it, and the soul of Jason transfers into this guy, and then he becomes Jason. He starts killing people, right? And then somebody else eats his heart, and so basically, okay. So I had a problem. Here's my biggest problem with this movie, part 5, is that they said, oh no. Like they're like, okay, Jason is on the loose. He's killing people, and the sheriff said, "No way it could be Jason because he was cremated." That's how we know it's not Jason. But how do you explain part 6, where it actually is really Jason who comes out from the grave from fucking Tommy Jarvis, the fucking asshole? Like, I'm sorry, I gotta go on a rant right now. Jason is dead, and this guy tries to kill him by bringing him back to life. Like a fucking asshole, and many people die because of this fucking asshole. Yeah, so that happens, but here's the thing. Here's what makes no sense is in the previous movie they say he was cremated. So how does he like non-cremated? Jason, can you fill us in for this? No, you can't because you can't talk because you too are an asshole. Okay. Yeah, fuck you too, buddy. Yeah, so here's my thought. What if Roy, the paramedic, back in part 4, gets the body of Jason? What if he eats Jason's black heart and embodies Jason? He just puts on a hockey mask like anybody just could put on a hockey mask, and he becomes Jason. What if Roy actually is Jason in the spirit? You know what I'm saying?
That makes as much sense as eating a heart, and it makes as much sense as part 9, I guess.
So it turns out Roy actually is Jason, and he's Jason, and then the other Jasons in the next few movies actually are him. I think I figured it out.
That makes perfect sense to me. Also, can we talk about how Jason was buried like an inch into the ground?
Yeah.
Like that was the shallowest grave. Just like
both movies.
It was literally concave. Like the grave was concave. Like the majority of his body is still above surface level.
And stone placement.
And they labeled the grave too, which is like weird for a allegedly cremated person. If you're covering your tracks and the fact that you eat human hearts, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So it all just kind of makes sense. Okay.
So one thing that doesn't make sense though.
What was that?
At the very end, when he wakes up from the nightmare, and he's in the hospital, why is there a mask and a butcher knife inside his drawer?
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm asking you to Scooby-Doo this shit.
One of the other paramedics left it after eating some hearts.
Heard.
Yeah. So let me ask y'all. So I guess this is y'all's first time seeing this. What was your thought when you found out? Oh, it was just Roy all along. What, like, were you disappointed? Like, what were you just like, yeah, this is bullshit?
I think my first thought was, who the fuck is Roy?
I remembered he gave a very discerning look to the other paramedic who was chewing the bubble gum and just being a complete ass of himself while exposing the dead body of his son to all the other kids that are just standing around. It's just
it turned out that it was like his son who was an orphan just there. He's just watching from afar. Like, he's a pretty shitty parent. But yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the next segment, which is basically I give you all a prompt, which is like how do you make this like a sequel or a prequel or something or a remake? Beezel Bubba, you've been here before, so I'll have you show off.
All right, so I've got an interesting idea. So you know how Jason's been to space. So let's send Jason to space a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And he finds out that he has force presences. And instead of going around and chasing people, he's just pulling all the younglings in and just whacking them with lightsabers. That's my story.
That's it?
That was clever. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the background with all the, shit, he rides a Rancor. Who knows?
My idea. Okay, so I mean, I already mentioned that the way to tie it all in is that Roy eats his black heart. But also, I think that would be nice if Scooby-Doo actually did make it. Well, they probably did. But honestly, like, okay, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to make something new out of something old. They're like, yeah, we're tired of Jason, and let's recreate it with Roy. And then at the very end, we see Tommy kind of becomes the new Jason. Does not work very well with the movie franchise sequels.
Tommy Wiseau.
No.
He is the Jason. I come to kill you now.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty good if Tommy Wiseau was in a Friday the 13th movie. That would actually be pretty funny. But I think that actually, in all honesty, I think that this would work out pretty well as a TV series. I think because it doesn't work in movies, and they tried to do it with the reboot where they were like, let's put all of the first 3 movies in one movie, and it didn't really work out that well. But if you had a series, you can start out where it was like the first episode is the first movie where it's his mom. And then the second movie is Jason starts killing people. And so it's like the next couple episodes is like the next few movies. You can tie them all together. And then it ends with Tommy Jarvis killing Jason. Okay, that's end of season 1. Then season 2 would be pretty much this. And it's like Roy, and you kind of make a few episodes, and then you could even have Tommy Jarvis start killing people throughout the rest of the series. And then season 1, Jason comes back. I think that that's the only way you can do that, and I don't know why they haven't thought about that. Jason, how do you feel? I don't know what you're saying. What are you saying? Use your words. I can't do this with this guy. Anyway, yeah, that's my pitch. I think it should be a series. Nat, do you have any ideas? Sequel or prequel or remake or anything like that?
I think especially even if it's just to settle the ire of Jason fans, I think we should have we already have like a Freddy versus Jason, so why don't we have a Jason versus Jason versus Jason? That's what I want.
Okay, explain.
I want all folks who felt like they were worthy of donning the hockey mask to all show up in a film, and it's just a battle royale. It's so like 21 kills, that's nothing, and watch them all just tally it up. Yeah.
It's not the Spider-Verse, it's the Slaughterverse.
Yeah, exactly. It can just be like Friday the 13th bloodbath, and it'll be just again, just like peak slasher film.
Okay, that I kind of okay. So it would be like you said, anybody who thinks that they were like worthy. Are you talking about the actors? Or are you talking about like Roy or like?
Yeah, exactly. Roy, Tommy, and Jason at this point.
Oh, okay.
I guess also Star Wars Jason now, if that's come to fruition.
Yes.
Okay.
So I love the idea of teens having sex dying by a fucking Jedi. Jason. It's like, yes, okay. Jedi, it's like Jason. Naturally you died by lightsaber.
Jason.
Darth Voorhees.
Like, we told you not to have sex at 15, and now a lightsaber has gone through your chest, and this is what you get. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's like a grindhouse kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just balls to the wall, just murder machine.
Yeah, J, and just that's it.
Hell yeah. Sam, how about you?
Well, we've seen Jason so many ways. We've seen him in hell. We've seen him in space. But have we seen him in love?
No.
The final frontier for Jason, Bachelor-style dating show.
So it's like The Bachelor, but it's Jason.
Yeah, that's who they're. He's tall, believes in family values. And is tall, which is
mysterious, brooding,
mysterious. Perhaps a Scorpio. I don't know. The women on The Bachelor seem to have low standards. So, I mean, he loves his mom and the outdoors.
Find a girl to take home to mother.
Exactly. Good with his hands. So that's my pitch is The Bachelor. They can go out and do all of his favorite activities, stabbing,
Smarter.
shopping, eating hearts, apparently. Just like Game of Thrones, like they just have a row of human hearts for them to eat.
I love
to prove
this
their
idea.
love.
I love this idea because it's like we already know Jason on Friday the 13th, but do we know Jason on Saturday the 14th? I don't think so. And this is where it's gonna go. We're gonna get to know Jason.
And at the end of the episode, he kills who doesn't make it to the next
Mhm.
episode.
Yeah, he doesn't give out roses; he just gives out slashes.
Yeah.
Stabby, stabby.
That's pretty good. I actually I really like that a lot. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Jason seems to approve. Okay. Cool. Well, I guess now we'll go ahead and rate this movie, and you were all new to this, so basically, how we do this is we rate this 1 out of 10, but instead of like stars or whatever, it's like hockey masks or machetes. However you feel like. For me personally, like I said, I think this is very underrated. What is that? Okay, that was Beezle Bubba. That actually happened last time he was on. Fix your mic, Beezle Bubba. Anyway, so I think it's underrated. I think it's one of the better ones. Is it the best? No, but it's up there. I think that I would give it probably 7 chocolate candy bars off of a dead fat kid. Yeah. So, Sam, how about you? How would you rate it?
I'm gonna give it 7 Reggies.
Okay. Cool.
It's the only Friday the 13th movie with any Reggie, so obviously that's like
that's a good. So you should have said that, or did you say that? I don't remember, but you might have said that when you were trying to tell people why they should watch this. But that's definitely
exactly. So 7 Reggies, points detracted for I don't know, bullying orphans who just want to share candy and do laundry, which are great qualities for a person to possess.
Yeah, but he was irritating though.
Okay, but several people are irritating and don't give me candy.
That's a good point. All right, cool. Gotcha. I like that. Nat, how about you?
I'm gonna rate it the same. It's gonna get 7 enchiladas. And I'll say there's a lot of things with pluses next to it that folks have already mentioned. My points detracted would probably be just general medical clinical malpractice, just left and right. At the institution, from the paramedic, it's everywhere. It's an absolute mess. What is a butcher knife doing at a hospital? What is going on there? So that's what I have to say.
Okay, cool, nice. Let's try to bring Beezle Bubba back. Beezle, you're muted, by the way.
Is that better?
Okay? You're good now. Cool.
So, as I stated in the beginning, pretty much no good movie. The statement is that no good movie has ever started with a glass of milk. Well, this movie started with the candy bar and just created this whole downhill spiral. And if Joey hadn't gone, Joey was the only glue holding everybody together. But there's one thing that I really have to commend about this movie, and that was the kung fu skills that Tommy's character had. He could really kick some ass. But
yeah, that's true. We didn't even talk about that. How did he learn how to fucking fight so well?
And he didn't even fight Jason or Roy in the very end. And that was the saddest part of writing in that movie.
I do have to feel Yeah, I don't know. I apologize. I forgot to mention the whole thing of how much of a bitch Tommy Jarvis was. He was the whole time. He was just PTSDing everywhere, and he was just like he sees Jason, he's like, and he
The only
he kicked two people's asses already, and then he sees Jason, and he's just like, I'm just going to be completely helpless and worthless, and Reggie will have to do all the work, which he did. So yeah,
Tommy only had 24 words in the whole movie.
Ugh, what a
He
fucking
is.
dick.
I mean, Jason even talks more than he does.
Yeah. So
In a
I'm
few
sorry.
words, but he gets his point across.
What was your rating again?
So with all the writing and fighting and all the all the pizzazz in the middle of the movie, I'm gonna go ahead and give it about 5 out of 10 seconds that I could withstand singing through the toilet door.
All right, ooh baby, ooh. And finally, we have Jason. How do you rate this? This is the one movie you weren't in, so yes, 0. 0 what? Oh, hockey mask. Okay, 0 hockey mask. You're not helping in this. This is what I knew I should have brought you in. Anyway, thanks y'all for joining us. We'll probably conclude this episode, and but before we do, I have to show next week's episode, just a little clip, but that's okay. That is Color Out of Space. That's the movie we'll be covering next week, and yeah, it's just a story of how a meteor, a color out of space, if you will. I mean, I'm not even making a pun. It is literally a color. The color is pink. It comes out of space, and it lands, and Nick Cage goes insane. And what more can you want from that? So when it comes to horror movies, I like exploitation movies. Those are you got your old 70s and 60s sexploitation, the black exploitation, the exploitation of everything. We got cage exploitation. This is really good. It's also Spectrovision, which is one of my favorite all-time movie productions. Have any of y'all seen this Color Out of Space? I recommend it. It's not like a bad movie, but it has a cult following. Like it had a cult following immediately after it came out. Spectrovision. It's a company created, and owned by Elijah Wood, actually. So Elijah Wood produced that movie, among others such as Mandy, and so that's what we'll be doing next week. And anyway, I like to thank y'all. Biza Baba, thanks again for coming. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. It's good to see y'all. And maybe we can meet up later and get some of the hair of the 3-headed dog. Let's party.
Cheers. All right. Nat and Sam, again, thanks for coming. And
Anytime.
What
thanks
does
for
we're recording like way before this episode come out. This episode will come out in like late February, March. But like, how's it looking for the new Parkway?
Yeah, so by March, New Parkway will likely be back open. They closed in January due to the surge, but in March they will likely be back open. If we don't do a film for February, then the March movie will likely be Hologram Man.
Oh, okay. What's that movie all about?
I actually have to read you the synopsis because there's no way for me to explain this in a way that
nice.
it I will say that it's free and available on YouTube if anyone is interested in going to check that out. But yes, let me read you a synopsis. I will find that for you.
Okay. Cool. Sam, do you have anything to add to all this?
No, I haven't seen Hologram Man. But knowing that it's something horrible I can inflict on my poor unsuspecting friends who I always make watch terrible movies when they come over. So I'm excited for that. And it's technically like homework, so I'm excited for Nat's description, I guess.
Oh yeah,
right.
I couldn't have said it better myself, quite literally. 5 years after being sentenced to holographic stasis, Norman is given a parole hearing. After an orchestrated technical glitch by his cronies, his soul escapes from computer prison and stalks the streets as an electromagnetic hologram.
That's what's up. Jason, how's that sound to you? Hell yeah. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, I guess if you're in the Oakland area, it's Oakland, correct?
Yes.
Yep, Oakland, California. Yeah.
If you're in the Oakland, California area, check out the new Parkway.
Yep.
And you'll see these two lovely ladies. Host a bad movie, which I would definitely do if I'm in the area. I'm many miles away, but it sounds like a lot of fun. And,
definitely come hang. Anybody who wants to, definitely hit us up. It's a blast.
Would you let this mug join in?
I definitely would.
I'm actually originally from California.
Oh, see?
Wonderful weather.
Yeah, great weather, and a really awesome movie theater now that's doing this stuff. So definitely come hang out.
A lot of fun chairs. All the chairs are like random. My favorite one is the hair salon one.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you talking about?
The chairs at the new Parkway. It's like random furniture.
Every chair is unique. It's not a set.
You'll find me in there's like a whole living room set with like an old TV. Yeah. That's my seat.
That's awesome.
What really that sounds pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Really? So it's like what other chairs are there?
There's a diner booth that's in there.
Yeah, it's like a full circular
diner in there. I'm trying to think about what else they have. They have an entire living room sectional in one corner. Gosh, what else? There's all sorts of stuff. It's
a lot of colors.
Every row is different, so yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It's like the only theater you want to be on the floor for, because that's where like the diner booth is, my living room.
Do you also have like a balcony?
No, it's just like rows, like stacked rows. So it's not that big, but
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that sounds dope. I definitely want to check this out. I'll let you know if I'm ever in the area.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that will conclude this episode of Culture Trash Horror Movie Grind. Check us out on the Patreon, where there'll be another 10 minutes of us chatting. And and again, I almost forgot, Jason Voorhees. Thank you for coming by. You are a living legend, sir. And
Living.
Oh, he took off. Oh shit.
Uh-huh.
Damn, that sucks. Well, anyway, we're at the end anyway, so it doesn't matter. But thank you all for joining, and I hope that your next few bad movie nights go well, and Bees Bubba too, and thanks for y'all for joining, and so that'll be that.
Shout at the devil.
Yep.
But not too